Is inflammation silently sabotaging your mental health? It's more common than you think, but the good news is you can fight back with the food that you eat. I'm Dr. Tracey Marks, a psychiatrist, and I make mental health videos to strengthen your mind, fortify your brain, and build resilience. Today, I'm giving you the top foods to combat inflammation and boost your mood. Inflammation is our body's natural response to injury or infection. It's a key part of our immune system. However, when inflammation becomes chronic, it can wreak havoc on your body, including your brain. At its core, inflammation is a protective mechanism. When your body detects a threat, it releases chemicals that trigger an inflammatory response. This response is designed to isolate the threat and promote healing. But in some cases, this process can go awry, leading to chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation doesn't just stay in one part of your body. It can spread, affecting various systems, including your central nervous system. When it reaches the brain, it can cause several problems, and here are 4 of them. One problem is disruption of neurotransmitter production. Inflammation can interfere with the production and function of neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, which are essential for mood regulation. Another problem is, over time, chronic inflammation can lead to changes in brain structure, potentially affecting areas involved in mood and cognitive function. Inflammation can dysregulate the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, also called the HPA axis, which is our body's stress response system, leading to increased cortisol production and heightened stress response. And then inflammation promotes oxidative stress in the brain, which can damage neurons and disrupt normal brain function. So those are the high-level physiological effects. What these changes can actually look like are symptoms of depression, anxiety, and even cognitive decline. Multiple large-scale studies have shown that people with depression tend to have higher levels of inflammatory markers in their blood, particularly something called C-reactive protein, or CRP. One major study following over 3,000 people found that those with elevated inflammation were significantly more likely to develop depression later on. If you're interested in looking at some of these studies, I'll have them in the description of this video. So how do you know if chronic inflammation might be affecting your mental health? Here are some signs to watch out for. Persistent fatigue that doesn't improve with rest, brain fog or difficulty concentrating, irritability that seems out of proportion to the situation, feeling emotionally reactive or more sensitive than usual, low mood that tends to worsen alongside physical symptoms, joint pain or body aches, and digestive issues. You might notice patterns where your mood dips during these times when you're also experiencing more physical discomfort. For instance, on days when you wake up with more body aches or digestive troubles, you also might find yourself feeling unusually down or irritable. These physical and emotional symptoms often travel together like 2 sides of the same coin. Now, here's the empowering part. You can actively fight inflammation through your food choices. Let's look at the top 6 anti-inflammatory foods that support both brain and mental health. In a previous video on nutrients for brain health, I talked about specific nutrients that fortify your brain. Today's list is whole food sources that reduce inflammation, and there's a little bit of overlap between these 2 lists that you'll see with the first recommendation of fatty fish. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, especially EPA and DHA. These nutrients are essential for brain health and have potent anti-inflammatory properties. Omega-3s are incorporated into brain cell membranes and play a role in neurotransmitter function. They've been shown to reduce inflammation in the brain and may even help alleviate symptoms of depression and anxiety. Try to include fatty fish in your diet at least twice a week. If you're a vegetarian or vegan, consider algae-based omega-3 supplements. Number 2 anti-inflammatory food is leafy green vegetables like spinach, kale, and collard greens are nutritional powerhouses. They're packed with antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds that can help protect your brain cells from oxidative stress. These greens are also rich in folate, a B vitamin that helps produce mood-regulating neurotransmitters. Low folate levels have been linked to depression. Aim to include a serving of leafy greens in at least one meal per day. You can add them to smoothies, use them as a base for salads, or saute them as a side dish. Number 3 is berries. Blueberries, strawberries, and blackberries are not just delicious, they're excellent for your brain. These fruits are rich in flavonoids. These are compounds with potent anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. Research has shown that regular consumption of berries can improve memory and even slow cognitive decline as we age. The antioxidants in berries help protect brain cells from damage and may even stimulate the growth of new neurons, which is the foundation of neuroplasticity. Try to include a variety of berries in your diet. Add them to your breakfast, snack on them, or use them as a natural sweetener in desserts. Number 4, nuts and seeds. Walnuts, almonds, flax seeds, and chia seeds are all excellent sources of omega-3 fatty acids, also vitamin E and antioxidants. These nutrients work together to reduce inflammation and support brain health. Walnuts, in particular, have been shown to improve cognitive function and may even help reduce the risk of neurodegenerative diseases. I wonder if that's why they're shaped like little brains. A handful of nuts or a tablespoon of seeds daily can be a great addition to your diet. Sprinkle them on salads or add them to your morning oatmeal, or just enjoy them as a snack. Number 5, turmeric. This vibrant yellow-orange spice has been used traditionally in medicine for thousands of years, and now modern science is catching up to its benefits. Turmeric contains curcumin, a compound with powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. Curcumin has been shown to boost levels of brain-derived neurotropic factor, also called BDNF, which is a protein that promotes the growth of new neurons and may help fight various degenerative diseases or processes in the brain. It's also been studied for its potential in alleviating symptoms of depression. Although you can add turmeric to various dishes, it's worth noting that curcumin is not easily absorbed by the body. That's why you'll often see supplements combining it with black pepper extract called piperine. And this addition can increase its absorption by 2,000%. Turmeric is a nice addition to food, but you really can't get a therapeutic dose of curcumin from consuming it only in food. You'll likely need to take a supplement to get the most benefit. The last anti-inflammatory food source is fermented foods. Probiotic-rich foods like yogurt, kefir, and sauerkraut support gut health, which is closely linked to mental wellness. The gut-brain connection is a fascinating area of research, and we're learning more about how the health of our gut microbiome can influence mood and cognitive function. For more on this, watch my recent video on how your gut bacteria controls your decisions. Fermented foods provide beneficial bacteria that can help reduce inflammation throughout your body, including the brain. If you're not a fan of traditional fermented foods, you might consider a high-quality probiotic supplement or the newly emerging postbiotics. These are bioactive compounds that your gut microbes produce during the fermentation process. These compounds work faster than consuming probiotics, but the research on them is still in the early phases, so we know less about them as a supplement. Hopefully that will change soon and we'll have more robust options for improving gut health. Now that we've covered some of the top anti-inflammatory foods, let's discuss how to implement these changes in your diet. First, you want to aim for variety. Don't just stick to 1 or 2 foods from this list. Try to incorporate a wide range of anti-inflammatory foods. 2, consistency is key. You don't have to be perfect, just consistent. And what does that look like? Try to include these foods in your diet regularly rather than as occasional superfoods. 3, pair these foods with a balanced diet that includes a variety of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, and lean proteins. 4th suggestion, while you're adding anti-inflammatory foods, also try and reduce your consumption of pro-inflammatory foods. These include processed meats, refined sugars, and trans fats that are often found in fried foods and baked goods. And then the 5th suggestion is listen to your body. Everyone's body is different. Pay attention to how different foods make you feel and then adjust your diet accordingly. Reducing inflammation benefits more than your physical health. It helps build a more resilient brain and supports mental wellness. These changes don't need to happen overnight. Small, consistent steps in the right direction can lead to significant improvements in both how you feel physically and mentally. In my next video, we'll explore how mindful eating can transform your relationship with food and boost your mental well-being. It's another powerful tool in your resilience-building toolkit. If you found this information helpful, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Thanks for watching today, and I'll see you in the next video.